I didn't know much about SEO and all of that at that time. So I took a leap of faith on somebody telling me, hey, I know SEO. I'm like, okay, good, help me.
My favorite part about LinkedIn is the instant feedback. A lot of times, like the prospect on the other end, it's on their mobile phone, so they see it pop up right away when you send a message. The key there is like dialing in your messaging and making sure it resonates with your buyer profile.
Exactly. I think the key is really finding the right people that are going to want your solution. That is, I think, the hardest about outbound. You would think that if you send an email explaining everything about your product, that would be kind of the way to go. I mean, people would want to know what you're buying and then decide take a call on it. But no, that is really not the approach.
Hey everyone, I'm Eric Gordon, founder and CEO of Parakeet. With me, I have Anjana, who's the founder and CEO of Juntrax. Really excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for taking time to meet with me and learn a little bit more about your background and how you got started. So maybe we can just dive in and start with like your story. How did you become a founder? Where did this idea come about? And yeah, tell us a little bit more about your story.
Sure. Thanks, Eric, for having me here. So I, have been in the ERP space for quite some time now, over 25 years. Worked for large and medium, mainly large enterprises, implementing PeopleSoft applications. I was worked on as a developer, and from started as a developer from my initial career, and then moved up and was a consultant implementing PeopleSoft applications. And the last place I worked was University of California Office of the President when they were implementing their central HRMS payroll system. They're centralizing all the medical centers and universities. After that, after I left that, I was going to technically take a break and figure out what my next step was going to be, mainly just take a break. But as it would be, I couldn't really just take a break. So we had a customer, and actually the customer is my husband and his partner. They were constantly, I would be, listening into conversations. There were, most of their conversations were like struggling with meetings. In their meetings, they were struggling with information. Where is this? Where is that? Where do we put that file? Information was everywhere. So I kind of suggested that, I think there were like 50 employees at that time. So I kind of suggested, hey, I think you guys need a ERP solution. You need to kind of get something centralized for all your information. And they had offices worldwide, USA, Netherlands, and India. And it just basically started like that. Since I, suggested that, he said, okay, well, why don't you suggest some applications that we can use. So I did my research. I presented them with a few tools that were out in the market, and they did try it. They found great things about each of them, but it really didn't fulfill what they were looking for. They needed visibility and control over all their locations, and they also wanted to really get to know who their employees are. I mean, you're working in one country and you've got employees spread over 3 different countries, and you really don't have a touch point with all your employees. So having a centralized system for that, and then being able to manage projects across locations, and also seeing what invoicing, I mean, sales were coming in, what money was going out. So that was a vision of the product. And then that's kind of what we built in. That's how Juntrax really got started. So actually I started that journey. We built the first version in 2019, implemented in all their locations. And then we said, okay, well, let's see if other people really, subscribe, can, use this. It'll be whether it's beneficial for other people. And that's basically where we started targeting other professional services companies. And we got some, so initial traction we started was in India. We tried to get a lot of demos and things like that, and a lot of feedback from companies in India who were also multi-location. And we found that, yeah, this seems to be something that can be useful for a lot of other professional services companies. And that's kind of where we kind of ran into COVID. We also ran into a point where this company was also growing really fast. So it went from 50 to 100 to 200, right? And our product, we didn't think that they were going to go grow so fast. So then we felt that, okay, well, we need to redo this on a different stack. So that's basically where that development effort happened. And we launched our second version in 2004. We converted our initial customers onto the new version. And that's kind of where we are. And now we're moving into very targeted sales and marketing. More a little bit about the product. The product, as I mentioned, the vision was to unify all of these three areas. The three tenets of a business are, managing your workforce, managing the work going on, and managing money coming in and money going out. And that's basically what Juntrax is. And the idea is to have your HR manager, your bookkeeper, your project manager, um, kind of do their dailies, on one system while giving the CXOs visibility and control over everything. So whatever they need visibility and control over, they have that, and it can be done in a multi-company environment. So that's kind of what Gentrax is, and that's how I got started.
Super cool. That's an awesome story. And
Oh, thank you.
so when you first got started, you were building it specifically to solve for several problems in your husband's company.
Correct.
That's a
Yes.
first of all amazing way to build out a proof of concept.
Yes, yes. We were lucky that way. I felt that, proximity to the customer, you get a lot of tidbits and what's working, what's not working. And what I found in the journey, and because I have close proximity, I found that once they implemented the product, the conversations really started happening, not from the spreadsheets, but they were started happening from the product. So everybody was logged into the product thinking, oh, okay, here we're off on, this project is, running under or over or whatever. They had all the insights they needed in the meeting itself. So the meetings started happening from the product. I think that was, I think, our biggest, I would say, win, in the sense that now a 1 hour meeting was cut to half an hour or 10 minutes just to get the information. And the rest of the time was spent on brainstorming and strategizing and all of that. So I think that was the big win from that proof of concept. And that's where we kind of just continue, like, okay, this seems to be working, and let's see, let's build version 2. So we did take a pause a little bit on the sales and not more on the marketing, but more on the sales side, because we couldn't straddle two products. So we started, that's the reason we took a decision to get more feedback and from customers, mainly in India. And we have our Bangalore, we have a team in Bangalore that is working with me to, well, I mean, it's our team is in Bangalore working together to make this happen. So that's why the proximity, being in Bangalore, it made sense to like get the feedback real time from there and start shaping the product better.
Very cool. And when you started building the product, like in the early stages of getting together this proof of concept and version one of the product, how big was it? Like, what did the team look like? Was it like, what did software development look like?
Yeah, so I actually was very lucky. I had my initial, the person who kind of just took a leap of faith and said, okay, yeah, this sounds cool. He came on as initially as a consultant, and then he helped me kind of build the initial framework of the product. And then he actually stayed with me for almost 3 years,
Wow.
and like part time and, in and out. So but we built, the biggest challenge was initially building a team, because I'm also bootstrapped, and so I had to, convincing people to work for a bootstrap company. was the challenge. Building a team was the challenge. So my version one, we were successful in getting a team together, and then COVID happened, and then we had work from home, and it was just very, very challenging. And
Hmm.
after that, we had to reset and then build a team again from scratch. So initially it was about I think we initially had 3 developers and a QA person, and then slowly we added more people, and then now we have like a full stack team. We've got about 6 7 developers, we've got 3 4 QA people, and we've got a UI UX person on
Nice.
the team. And yeah, it's a kind of a full team, and then now we've got sales and marketing as well. So yeah, it took a while, and I think that's the biggest challenge that I had, was really getting a team together and having them stick for a longer time. So I've got, my CTO, he's with me. So actually revamped version 2. He's with me since the last 5 years. So
Wow.
yeah, so I think that was my challenge.
It sounds like you're in a really good place now where you have a solid core team and you're at
Yes,
the point where you're just executing, which is amazing.
correct. Yes,
Very cool. And I'm kind of curious about, so like customer number one was this close connection.
yes.
What about customer two and three? Like, where did
Yeah.
those come from?
So they actually they came from so we actually, like, I once we released this in 2020, and that's when COVID started, right? And we did a lot of cold calls, and like I said, we had our inbound funnel also. We had, our website up, we had SEO happening, and also we had, I mean, I didn't know much about SEO and all of that at that time. This, I'm talking 2020. So I took a leap of faith on somebody telling me, "Hey, I know SEO." I'm like, "Okay, good, help me." So so that is how kind of we got started, and we got a content writer who wrote initially all the initial blogs. So we had about 100 plus blogs written at that time, and we were doing okay in the inbound side. So we had a lot of inbound leads, and so we converted a lot of those. We had someone who was heading our sales at that time. We did have a sales team. I mean, we've got a sales team, but then we had like a small sales team. We had one person and an intern initially. So we got out. We did outbound, and we did sales calls, and we got conversions there as well. So we did get about 10 to 15 customers in the 2 year time frame. But I think the biggest challenge we had is because we were straddling 2 products. They were here on one. There were things that they wanted that we couldn't really get, that we couldn't straddle 2 products, because we had the dev team working on version 2 of the product, and we had the dev team trying to manage version, support version 1. So that's where we kind of saw a lot of drop or churn. And the churn really didn't happen just because of the product. I think the requirements for so because they also grew, and their requirements also changed in terms of what they were looking for. And since version 1 didn't have those requirements, they couldn't wait around for version 2. So some churned because of that. The others were COVID took a toll on their business. A lot of them had to shut down. So we lost a lot of customers, or like I would say we only had about 15 or 20, but so we lost some customers because of that. So that's kind of how we did. But the other customers, I mean, we've had there was one particular customer, they hung stuck with us, and even through version 1 and all the challenges there, and now they're on version 2, and they're still our customers. So I think this is their third renewal.
That's incredible.
And yeah, so I mean, little stories like that, I think. And then we got, the other customers we got all came from inbound, and I think one came from Reddit, if I'm not mistaken. So
That's cool.
yeah, that was kind of our journey there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you have it sounds like a sales and marketing team in place now.
Yes.
What are some channels that are working well, like, and some other channels that might not be working as well? Because as we know, go to market has changed a ton in the last year or so.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what's working for you guys right now?
So right now, we're in the process of setting up outbound. Outbound is a little tricky, and I've watched the videos on Parakeet as well.
Nice.
Really informative. So I think getting the messaging right, I think, is the key for the outbound. What is working, that we've got a couple of demos and things situated, has been from LinkedIn messaging. So we've had some interest, but in all, I would say, to be very honest, we I don't think we have even really tried as much doing, like, like in sales. I think the consistency is where it's at. So we just got our head of sales, really sharp guy. He just got on a board in April, right? So
Oh,
he's
cool.
like just setting everything up, making sure things are going. So I would say that once we are at a place where things are set up correctly, and all our inbound seems to be working really well, because our marketing team was in place since 2024, and they have been working on a lot of content, and the SEO seems to be working. We're getting a lot of leads coming in, I would say. I mean, I don't, by a lot, I would say a couple a week coming in.
Okay.
And so we're kind of building that inbound funnel. We are also improving our website to kind of get more landing pages and things like that in place, specifically targeting professional services companies, and putting that messaging out there. That is also happening. So we anticipate more leads coming from the inbound funnel once we do that. Then we have our outbound. We started warming up your outbound funnel. We're still trying to figure a lot of things out there, the messaging and all of that. And so we're really right now focused on LinkedIn messaging, and getting LinkedIn connections in place, and just reaching out via LinkedIn.
Yeah, my favorite part about LinkedIn is the instant feedback. It's
Yes.
a unique channel where 100% of the messages you send get delivered, and
Yes.
a lot of times, like the prospect on the other end, it's on their mobile phone, so they see it pop up right away when you send a message. So
Yes.
you can't really beat it in terms of like the instant delivery. The
Yes.
key there is like dialing in your messaging and making sure it resonates with your buyer profile.
Yes. Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And that's the key, is just, I think the key is really finding the right people that are going to want your solution. And that is, I think, the hardest about outbound.
mhm,
Inbound, I think, is people are already looking. They see if your messaging is correct on your website and your inbound, I think you'll get the right people, coming in. So that's kind of our strategy right at the moment. Plus, we are looking at partnerships. We've actually got a lot of partnerships in the pipeline that we are going to be, working with resellers. We're going to be working with cross, like systems that will work with us, like a biometric system, or some external system that will work with us, and developing a partnership model with them. And then I would say, yeah. So that's kind of what's in the pipeline right now.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, the partner channel seems huge, especially in your space, just with like the connections and the
Yes.
networks that you can work through those partner channels.
Right.
Very cool.
Exactly.
And I have to ask, have you done any sort of outbound email, whether that from a marketing side or like a cold email sales perspective?
Yes, I mean, we have like we even back in 2020, we were doing a lot of. So we are using HubSpot to for our CRM right now. Um, we are sending out emails directly to potential leads. So it's not like the 10,000 emails and getting one response, but saying that, okay, we've identified these people as our target audience, and we will, send out a message to them and see if there's any connection there. I wouldn't say it has been very, very successful, but over the years, even the messaging has changed. from what we used to send in 2020 and what we're sending now. I think that whole format has changed. So
Mhm.
just learning and relearning that all the time has been one of the things that we have to constantly keep on top of.
Right. It's amazing how much the whole landscape has changed. An
Yes,
email that
yes.
would have worked incredibly well in even 2022 or 2023 doesn't work anymore, and you have to keep
Yeah. And
innovating and iterating.
correct. And I actually intuitively, you would think that if you send an email explaining everything about your product, that would be kind of the way to go. I mean, people would want to know what you're buying, and then decide take a call on it. But no, that is really not the approach.
Hmm.
And it took some time to kind of figure that part out for us. And then like okay, and like I said, from 2020 to now, the whole sales approach and strategy has changed in terms of how you do outbound. So yeah, that was a lot of learning for us.
Hmm. It's pretty amazing too how like email used to be a channel that was pretty quick feedback in terms of engagement or interest. And
Yes,
the way that I kind of look at it now is really more for like nurturing and creating brand recognition and credibility.
yes,
So just
yes.
staying like top of inbox and relevant, um, even if you don't get replies, it still typically helps move the needle and build that
Correct.
brand recognition.
Yes, I agree.
So awesome. Well, I know we're kind of coming up on time here. If for our audience, if anyone wants to follow along and follow your journey, how would they find you? What's the best place to connect with you?
Well, I mean, I am on LinkedIn. You can check out my LinkedIn. You can go to the Juntrax page on LinkedIn, or my personal profile is Anjana Desai. Um, and yeah, our website has all the information. So juntrax.com.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It was really great to have you. And I really appreciate your time and great to learn more about your story as well.
Thank you, Eric. It was wonderful conversing with you as well. Thank you.